Honestly, because I just feel like doing it today. And the whole holiday weekend thing. Well, since this guy's on a roll right now, let's keep it up with him. This is game 3 of the first edition, and our first round categories are reference books, political slogans, sports, movie classics, fabrics, and can do with can in quotation marks. Here we go. The first distinctly American one was published by Noah Webster in 1828. Whoopie diddles, hold up. Almost let that one go. A dictionary. Some of these are entitled World, Poor Richards, and Farmers. It was an almanac. Poor Richards being Ben Franklin's, of course. It was first published by Ireland's largest brewery to settle bar disputes. I don't know how to answer this. I'm pretty sure it's the Book of World Records, but... Okay. Guinness Book of Records. Glad they were smart and accepted just Guinness. He privately published his book of familiar quotations in 1855. Oh shit, I don't remember this. Bartlett. George Washington owned an early edition of this encyclopedia, still published today. What is the Britannica? He said, "The workers have nothing to lose but their chains." Was it Lincoln? Here I would have thought it would have been an anti-slavery thing, but Karl Marx. Interestingly enough, we had that discussion last night on Trailing Off. Olivier played the brooding Heathcliff in this 1939 film. Now, I'm not particularly versed in films to begin with. Admittedly, even worse with the classics. Wuthering Heights. Based off the novel, no doubt. In 1964, this conservative offered voters a choice, not an echo. Much as I really want to say LBJ. Goldwater. And this was 8 years prior to the scandal that he was part of. Preacher called backers of his Democratic presidential nomination bid the Rainbow Coalition. Like I said, not my category. In 1940, Republicans were urged to win with him. We love our alliteration around here. This New York political machine advised, vote early and vote often. No doubt the inspiration behind one of Sierra Online's sayings, save early and save often. Because having had a lot of experience with those games, if you don't, you're going to regret it. Those quest games go out of your way to make sure every wrong decision is a terrible consequence. This film ends with, after all, tomorrow is another day. It's a cold read, give me a break. This 1933 fantasy made Claude Rains a star, though he was barely seen. That makes all the sense in the world, right? The Pro Football Hall of Fame is located here. I believe that's Canton, Ohio. Well, speaking of sports, game that begins when the centers jump. What is basketball? The more common name for a baseball pitch in which the moundsman loads up a wet one. What is a spitball? Developed from game in India called Puna, it resembles, but isn't, an offshoot of tennis. Oh, this could be one of two. What, squash? Okay. My other guess would be racquetball. Let me think. What else is there? Badminton. Oh, son of a bitch. Totally forgot. And I make enough shuttlecock jokes, too. These rolled pieces of pasta are often stuffed with meat and baked in tomato sauce. Cannelloni. I was thinking cannoli, but that's a dessert. And I don't think it's even a pasta shell. During World War II, stars donated their time to entertain at GI Nightery. What exactly are you asking about? They were asking for the location, I guess. I don't know. That didn't seem very clear to me. Popular in sweaters, it comes from the fur of a rabbit, or less commonly, A goat. What's Angora? This nobleman framed the rules of boxing. Well, it seems we still have a functional problem here. No number from 1 through 4 wants to function, which means anybody who rings in theory, should be losing money. But the correct phrasing would be number 4, which reads, who was? And who was the Marquess of Queensberry? Anybody who buzzes in should fail. If they don't, there's an even worse fix than the one we saw in Junior. Well, the 4 key didn't want to register, so I was fucked. At age 18, she shared top billing with Johnny Weissmuller at the San Francisco Expo's Aquacade. The term for the chanting of words purported to have magical powers. What is an incantation? You know, hullabaloo and howdy do. Anybody who's ever watched Courage the Cowardly Dog? Now, ordinarily, I would cheat on a couple of clues to get my comeuppance for the fact that I was cheated. But since I'm not really playing to win here as much as I am for Expo, I'm not going to bother. This 1937 Frank Capra film made Shangri-La a household word. Lost Horizon. I am not likely to find the Daily Double. This landmark film was based on Reverend Thomas Dixon's novel, The Klansman. A course material used for sax. Its name is from the Sanskrit goni. I could be a little bit off here, but what is burlap? Yeah, what is this? I'm sure I overthought it. A gunny sack. Okay. Luxurious material woven from the secretions of caterpillars. What is silk? Fabric woven from flax yarns. It is a generic term for sheets, towels, etc. What is linen? Colors in this woven plaid fabric from India are intended to bleed slightly. I'm not going to try it. Madras. This rotund comic is an alumnus of SCTV. Who is John Candy? At this point in time, who was John Candy? God rest his soul. Okay, double Jeopardy time. Categories this time are European geography, playwrights, word origins, daytime television, holidays, and all for love. Now hosted by Bob Barker, the original version was emceed by Bill Cullen. Obviously, that's no longer true. What is The Price is Right? At one time, one of my all-time favorite game shows. That is, until Drew Carey took over, and as much as I enjoy him as an improv comedy ambassador, I don't think that was the show for him. The people seem to disagree. He's still the host and has been for about 13 years now. But I don't think that was the right choice, personally. Anyway, enough of my diatribing. Well, well, well. Let's try it. Name applied to Europe since the discovery of America. What is the Old World? That was fortunate. I wasn't all that sure of it. Now, daily doubles, at least on the show, do not show up two in the same category. And very, very rarely do they show up in the lowest dollar value. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Between Dover and Cape Grisnez, it is only 21 miles wide. What is the Suez Canal? Watch it be the Panama Canal. The English Channel. Right idea, wrong body. The two countries on the Iberian Peninsula. Portugal. I keep forgetting that stretch of land has a name. Freewheeling host whose talk show fizzled in daytime, but found late night more hospitable. Who is Pat Sajak? Really? Somebody else? Because I know Pat Sajak had a daytime talk show that didn't work out in daytime. Dave Letterman. And when they said freewheeling, I was thinking Wheel of Fortune. Pretty clever trap, honestly. As Mrs. Teasdale, Mrs. Claypool, and Mrs. Upjohn, she was hopelessly in love with Groucho. Margaret Dumont. The term sadism derives from the name of this French nobleman. I don't know enough of his name to say. If I were to say Sadie, the Marquis de Sade, or Marquis de Sade, however they pronounce it for any given guy. This program's host starred in The Bold Ones and Lucas Tanner. I forget who was hosting then, but they've all turned over since this game. Major holiday falling 12 days before Epiphany. I should know these better than I do. This is really only a guess. What is Easter? If a certain group of people I know ever watch this, it's going to be really embarrassing. Christmas. See, Epiphany isn't really mentioned where I attend. Though knowing that, it probably should be. Hanoi Jane played this playwright in the movie Julia. Yeah, you people heard me. I regret nothing. She's a traitor and should have been hanged or otherwise punished. Before landing the role of Barney Miller, he played Larry Carter on Search for Tomorrow. Emily McLaughlin plays this nurse on General Hospital. Emily McLaughlin. Wouldn't be Nurse Jessie, wouldn't be Amy. I'm a fool. It was Nurse Jessie. Holiday on which Bugs Moran's gang was gunned down in a Chicago garage. What is St. Valentine's Day? In case anybody was wondering, that holiday was not originally about love, but it's a very pleasant turn on what was an otherwise unpleasant origin. Sevastopol, Varna, and Odessa are main ports on this sea. Sounds pretty Mediterranean to me. Okay. Now, if I can be the one to select that last clue in Europe. This term for an oppressive boss recalls the villain in Uncle Tom's Cabin. Plenty of different possibilities. A Simon Legree. Never read the book, would not have come up with that. Literally French for white card. It's been taken to mean blank check. What is Mont Blanc? A blanc is white, I know that. What is card? Carte blanche. Okay. Pesach in Hebrew, it was celebrated by Jesus at the Last Supper. What is Passover? This I know because I have attended many a good Seder. Europe is the only continent without this major geographical feature. It's got rivers, it's got mountains. A desert. New Orleans festival named for custom of parading fat ox through Paris on Shrove Tuesday. Of course, fat and Tuesday are both in the clues, so I'd be safer going with the French. Mardi Gras. Of course, that's how they would refer to it in that city, so. Nicknamed Doc, he wrote The Odd Couple and The Goodbye Girl. Nickname of the late playwright Thomas Lanier Williams. Don't look at me, I don't know it. The sad part is I've heard of him and I've been in a couple of his plays. Tennessee Williams. Before Martin Luther King, the only man whose birthday was a federal holiday. And it's the day, oh, now who wants to work. And it is now referred to as President's Day, who is George Washington. He dramatized his life with Marilyn Monroe in After the Fall. In this American opera, a cripple fights a killer for the man, or for the woman they both love. Oh boy, I'm not having a good day. Never having heard of this opera, I'm sure that the cripple finds some way to win. Porgy and Bess. Every time I see that, I think pork and beans. Best known for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, he won Pulitzers for 2 other plays. Wouldn't be Hammerstein. E.F. Albee. After the death of this husband, Cleopatra killed herself with an asp. Who's Mark Antony? From the German word for lightning, it now means a defensive rush on a football quarterback. What's a blitz? Slang for sent to prison, it refers to the direction of Sing Sing from New York City. What is down the river? Or is it up the river? Watch it be up the river. God damn it. Had it going the wrong way. I don't believe it. Well, it's make or break time. Humbert's love for Nabokov Nymphet brought madness and disgrace. Oh, jeez. Who is? Who is Joan Collins? I don't fucking know. That's gonna mean a loss no matter what. Lolita. Well, let's end this. She eloped with Paris, angering her husband and starting a war. And unfortunately, we're not going to see the final Jeopardy clue associated with this. But if you want to see it, it is j3.jpq, that file, on the first edition of Jeopardy. But, that all been said, that's the end. We're not going to know what this clue is. And that's what happens. I am in the mood to continue playing, but my network seems incredibly shaky at this moment, so unfortunately I'm not going to continue for right now. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys tonight for the rest of the Trailing Off special series. Have an alpha day, and remember, all it cost you to watch was a choice.